Starbucks chairman and CEO Howard Schultz raised an important question earlier this year at his company's annual stockholders meeting. He wanted to know, what does it mean to be a good citizen?
We must do everything we can to reclaim and reimagine the American dream and fill the reservoir back up, not with cynicism, but with optimism. Not with despair, but with possibility. Not with division, but with unity.
And now Howard Schultz is spearheading a national campaign to identify and inspire great citizens across the country. First on CBS This Morning, we're going to take a look at Starbucks' first original series. It's called Upstanders.
The time when I stopped in that parking lot, he was severely addicted to heroin, had just gotten out of a second detox, and he was going to bed every single night with a pistol next to his body. He felt like he couldn't be the Marine that he was when he left our country to go serve. He was broken, completely broken. Place that I was familiar with. Nice to meet you. I told him I used to play football. You know, I had a gym downtown, and I'd love it if he joined me. The following morning, he showed up, and we trained. And we started to explore different things and the way he could do things. And for the next 3 months, he came every day. So we just hit it off. I watched the life come back to his eyes.
Boy, Howard Schultz joins us once again at the table. Welcome, Howard. That was
Thanks,
a very powerful clip that we just showed. You are not late to the taking social responsibility, social compassion in this country, because you feel we're very much lacking that.
Well, I think you just saw from the first set of guests you have had, the politics in the country are broken. There's fractured leadership, but we do have millions of ordinary people doing extraordinary things in America. And unfortunately, those stories are not being told. So we as a company said, at a time in America where there's such a cloud hanging over the country, especially during this political season, let's go out and let's find 10 stories. We found hundreds.
Yeah.
But these stories need to be told, and I thank you for the opportunity, because we need to shine a light on people who are doing extraordinary things. And I think the country is not going to be fixed by people in Washington, not in the near term, but it can be fixed by people doing extraordinary things every day. And I hope this series is an opportunity for people to see in their neighborhood, in their community, they too can do the kind of things that help their neighbor and help their community.
You just focused on the ex-NFL player, David Vobora, who's
Yes.
helping veterans by setting up this gym. You've been to that gym, right?
I've met every one of these 10 people, and I've been to Dallas recently, and I must tell you, it's both heart-wrenching and heartwarming to see an NFL player who's lost his profession commit himself to helping those people who came back from Iraq and Afghanistan, who, as you saw from the video, are in a very tough position.
What is it you think that separates people who make sure that they do something that is inspiring and that makes a difference?
Well, first of all,
what's the common gene?
Yeah. I think the common gene is that we as a country, for some reason, have lost our sense of humanity. But when we see it, we're drawn to it. And I think the people that we've met have given us such a gift, because everyone has given us the opportunity to see what it means to serve, to be a servant leader. And I think when you're around these people, you want to do more. I also think there's so much negativity in the country. And after traveling with these people, I'm more optimistic than I ever have been, not about what's going on in Washington in this election cycle and all the vitriolic noise and hate and bigotry, but what's going on in the communities across the country of people helping each other is positive. And those are the stories that need to be told.
And you seem, Howard, to be frustrated by the political system. You said it's damaged by a lack of civility and courage in Washington, where leaders of both parties have abdicated their responsibility. So you're putting the blame on both sides.
Well, I don't want to blame anybody, really. I've stopped blaming Washington a long time ago. I've said to myself, what can we do as a company? What can we do as citizens to raise the level of servant leadership and really demonstrate humanity, which is so necessary in the country? But let's be honest. Washington is broken. We don't have truth. We don't have authenticity. We have fractured leadership. This election cycle is something that has embarrassed the country and the world. I probably travel as much as any CEO around the world. I've been to China once a quarter for the last 10 years. People are constantly asking me, is this really possible? Is this really serious? Can you have two candidates that have almost 70% unapproval rating running for president?
You can't change the system without participating in the system.
Well, we must have
and the political process.
Well, very true. And I think as a result of that, we must have people getting very active. But it's not the decision we make every 4 years. It's a decision we make every day.
Okay, but are you involved in any way in the political process?
Me
Are you
personally?
supporting a candidate, or are you engaged in this presidential election or the statewide elections in
I'm engaged
Washington?
as a private citizen, recognizing that Hillary Clinton needs to be the next president of the United States.
So you have endorsed her.
You
I
just
just
did,
did.
if you hadn't.
Let me ask you about a company and political activism. Is there a concern about, Howard Schultz can be involved in political activism, but having a company involved in political activism, do you worry about turning off,
Your customers.
their customers who may be Republicans or libertarians?
I've been asked that a lot. Here's what I believe. We can't be in business just to make money. We must balance profit with conscience and humanity and benevolence and do what's right for our people and our communities. And we are living proof over a 24-year history as a public company. We can do all those things and create long-term value for our shareholders.
One question.
Yes.
Are the Chinese drinking Starbucks coffee?
Well, we have 2,500 stores in over 100 cities, and China is one of our strongest markets. I would say yes.
All right.
you.
Howard Schultz, great to have
We
you here.
thank you for the white hot chocolate with the low-fat milk. Thank you, Howard Schultz.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.